Welcome to Civil Discourse. I am your host, Wesley. This is my co-host, Steve. We're here to talk to you a little bit today from both sides of the political spectrum. Excuse me, guys. It's been one of those weeks, man, sitting here listening to Republicans all week long. Kind of gets my brain kind of jumbled up a little bit. But how are you doing today, Steve?
I am doing quite well. How about yourself?
I'm sure that you are under this kind of extreme administration. This is exactly what you voted for, like they always say. So I'm sure you are doing just fine. But Americans like myself, no, we're not doing just fine. We're looking.
Oh, you're hurting. You're hurting, aren't you, Wesley?
Oh,
you're really hurting, aren't you?
Well, yeah,
you're
the government's shut down right now.
Oh, and you're not making any money, are you?
I got friends right now who are working and who work for the DOD right now who are working right now for free. At this point, they are not getting paid. They're
if Chuck Schumer would get his head out of his fourth point of contact, we'd be all right.
Oh, so this is Chuck Schumer's fault now. Chuck Schumer is the one who's at the top. The last 3 government shutdowns have been under who?
Under
Trump.
Chuck Schumer.
Under Trump. Chuck Schumer was. I don't believe that Chuck Schumer at that point in time was the Senate.
Under Chuck Schumer,
he's the Senate. I think he might have been a Senate Majority Leader. I don't remember. I don't recall, but he's not right now. He's not the Senate Majority Leader. Republicans have 53 votes in the Senate.
It doesn't matter.
53
it doesn't matter
votes in the Senate.
It doesn't matter if he's a majority leader, minority leader.
Hinda, how you doing, Hinda? Nice. Thank you for joining us.
This is actually his fault.
Oh, this is. Explain to me how. Because I know you came up with some kind of crazy analogy about.
Go back to what Chuck Schumer said in the past about shutdowns. There should never be a shutdown because of policies, and here he is. Shutting down the government because he's a baby and it's not getting his way.
So let's go with what did Trump say about shutdowns? If you have a shutdown, you're you cannot run the government. You're no good at running the government at all. This is what Trump has said about shutdowns. Am I correct?
Who runs the money? Who runs the money?
I mean, it sounds like I know who runs the money. I know who's supposed to have the purse strings, but who's been acting like he runs the entire government by himself?
He can't do anything about the purse strings unless the Congress does it for him. Yes or no?
This is what I'm going to say right now. I mean,
yes or no? That's a legit question.
I understand that, but he's been overstepping his bounds since the day he got in office. He's been occupying. We've watched it. He's been cutting programs, cutting money to schools, cutting money all over the place.
If this is such an issue with Chuck Schumer, why did he vote for it 6 months ago?
I mean, I don't believe that. Let me finish. He didn't vote for. The first thing he didn't vote for him taking money. This one right now makes it so that he's saying I'm not going to allow you to cut this program out. Yes, it does. It cuts money. It cuts money out of people, helping people get their health care. I mean, it doesn't. So he's saying I do not want it to expire for American citizens. This is what they're saying.
What happens when your driver's license expires?
Are you serious right now? This is what you equated this to, your driver's license? This is what you just equated this to, is what a driver's license. You just equated millions of Americans losing subsidies for health care to a driver's license.
It wasn't supposed to be there forever. They expire for a reason.
This is what we get from. This is what we get from Republicans all the time when it comes to anything about Americans.
Common sense. Yes.
Oh, well,
common sense.
Common sense. I mean, I believe that the only common sense that Republicans have is, hey, let's give these guys this money over here and we get nothing. We just need. Okay. We just saw that. We saw the guy who just. I'm going
to read something to you. Okay.
Please.
The current COVID enhanced subsidies distort the health insurance market by driving up premiums. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, average individual market premiums rose 4.5% last year, outpacing inflation. A 2024 study from the Mercatus Center at George Mason University estimated that enhanced subsidies correlated with a 15 to 20% premium spike in expansion states. The rise in prices applies to exchange plans as well. These are the COVID subsidies that have been expired. That are expiring.
I don't think.
According to eHealth last year, the average premium for a family of 4 in the exchanges was $23,968. Adding the average premium to the average deductible brings the total to $27,025. If the family is not getting a subsidy, that's the amount they can expect to spend before they get any benefit from the plan. So extending the higher Inflation Reduction Act subsidies would pour gasoline on this fire.
Yeah, I mean, where'd you get this from?
This is from the Mercatus Center at George Mason University, and the Kaiser Family Foundation.
So what they're saying is what? Tell me exactly. I mean, this is a whole lot.
So these subsidies are COVID era subsidies, right? That they put in to help people that are on the ACA to help afford because they were not working. Okay. Therefore, now they have expired, and the Dems are saying, well, millions of people are going to lose their health care. No, that's not true. Millions of people still get their health care.
What they're saying is
they're
that
part of the plan.
They're saying prices will spike. What they're saying, prices will spike. But they've already conceded on the fact that
the reason they spiked is because they were lowered because of COVID, because people were not out of jobs and not able to pay for the insurance. So are we going to turn around and say, okay, it's expired? Now, what you can do, if you're a Democrat and you really give a rat's ass about people, you would go and renegotiate that in a session of Congress and get them put back in. If you all know that these people,
you're not going to get any of this put back in. But let me also say this: what they're also saying is that
you know what they're also. This is not about people losing health care. That is a misnomer.
It definitely is about people losing health care.
No, okay, on top of that, show me your facts about that.
If healthcare costs,
show me your facts about it. I just gave you facts.
I'm not, like I say, if healthcare costs have risen, like you said during the factual statement that you just gave, correct? Healthcare costs has risen every single year, and this is helping to offset what it was then. Imagine what it's going to be now for them. So you think people can afford that? You think a lot of people are going to be able to afford that? You know how many jobs? You know how many jobs people are losing right now? You know where the state of our employment is right now.
I thought Biden made 14 million jobs.
Oh, he did. How many are Trump's starting to lose right now? People are
not losing 14 million.
Listen to what I'm saying. You did not just listen to Jerome Powell say, I have to lower interest rates because of what Trump is doing to the economy. Trump is doing to the economy.
Democrats are butthurt because they're not getting their way, and that's why the shutdown's going on, because they know they didn't do their job for the American people. It's strange to me. They could have gone back 6 months ago and tried to negotiate this, and they didn't.
Listen. It's strange to me. They've tried. They probably tried to
coming up.
They probably have tried.
I mean, 6 months ago, you had to know this
tried to. They've probably been trying to negotiate this the entire time. Who's to say? But it sounds to me like you're totally against people getting anything, but you're all for corporations getting money. Yeah, it does. That's exactly what happens every single time. It's strange to me that every single time we can't afford things for the American people, but we can afford things when it comes to anyone else.
I get it.
It's just the truth. It's a fact.
No, you are a social justice warrior when the facts don't even dictate it in your favor.
For the American people. It don't sound like that you're for the American people.
Not for the American people.
It's like you're against the American people.
If you're everything that you say, you would negotiate. If you're really for the American people, you'd sit there and negotiate a new healthcare plan.
There's no negotiating when they have the presidency, they have the House, and they have the Senate. There's no negotiating with them. They've done nothing for healthcare costs for the average American.
They've been waiting for them to come back and negotiate.
What have they passed?
This is a resolution.
They closed down the House.
The same as they did 6 months ago. The same as they did in the Biden administration.
You know that Mike Johnson doesn't even want to open up the House right now because he's afraid.
Why? They've already passed the CR.
Because of the Epstein bill. At the same time, I don't want to go off into that, but this is why. Because they have the votes. A guy from his own chamber. No. This is why Mike Johnson does not. He doesn't. Anyway,
is this where we're going? Is this this is now the Epstein conspiracy we're throwing into the?
But this is part of the reason why. Because you said they're ready to go back in and negotiate. They're not.
Release the files. Release the files.
But they're not. But the fact of the matter is they're not willing to.
How about go back 6 months ago and do your goddamn job?
Yeah, that goes for Republicans too. They do not want to help the American people. Name one thing that
because it never came up. If it was going to come up, it should have come up 6 months ago.
Name one thing that Trump has done right at all for the average American people, the ones who voted for him. Right? Name one thing. What? I can name a bunch. I can name a bunch of things right now.
Lower your taxes.
I can name a bunch of things.
Everybody in America's taxes.
I can name a bunch of things right now that he's given to billionaires and millionaires that he's done for them, but he's done nothing.
He's also given it
to no one else
too.
I'm not just talking about lowering taxes.
It goes across
I'm not just talking about lowering taxes. I'm talking about gifts. When he's sitting in the White House, like how much money we watched a person go from having 300 or 200 or something billion to almost to over 500 billion dollars. I think he's went up about 150, 200 billion dollars under Trump's presidency.
Musk?
Yes,
what,
not on top.
Owns a company?
Not on a company that's mostly built around getting money out of government contracts and government subsidies. Period.
Hey,
Tesla,
guess
government
what?
subsidies.
You know what? If I'm not mistaken, Biden in December of 2024 signed off on something for Tesla tanks. Yes or no?
One more time.
Yes or no?
One more time. You said Tesla tanks.
Biden in December of 2024 signed off on something for Elon Musk to spend, I don't know, ungodly amounts of millions of dollars.
What I'm saying is I'm not against people making money. What I'm saying, I'm watching.
Yes, you are.
I'm absolutely not.
Well, look at this guy. He just made $500 million.
I'm making money myself. What I'm saying is your president, the one you guys voted for, is only doing things. The people who voted for him are the majority of people. So I'm not talking about yourself. Let me finish.
Let's go back to the crux of the conversation.
And we are. The crux of the conversation.
Give me a fact.
Why is the federal government
Give me a fact. Because Schumer did not do his job.
What? I mean, what job is there to do when you're in the minority? What job is there to do? You cannot get the vote.
You don't think 6 months ago he knew this was coming? And now all of a sudden it's a problem.
There's no way to get the votes. I mean, this is how he looks at it. We just had the big ugly bill passed. 7 million Americans, 7 to 11 million Americans are going to lose their health insurance for that. He said, you know what? I'm not going to allow this to go any further. That's the facts. That's a fact. I'm not even going to sit back and debate that one with you. Everyone's saying
you don't know facts because I'm giving you facts and you're sitting here debating them when you know it's Schumer's fault.
Listen, are you saying that you just told me about how many Americans are going to lose their health insurance under the big ugly bill? Is that what you're saying as a fact?
I didn't say.
You're talking about something else. So you're not giving me facts. Give me facts about something totally different. Give me facts about something totally different.
How much it's going to go up or how much they're paying now. That's what I'm saying. What you don't understand, Wesley, is that they had at least 6 months, even more than a year when Biden was in office, to know that this stuff was coming around the bend and going to expire, and they did nothing about it. Thanks for joining this.
Like I said, I mean, it's not about.
Like I said, you don't have any facts to back up what you say.
Everything I'm saying is a fact. The only thing you read was something. The only thing that you read off was something saying that, oh well, people, this is something that came into place. Part of it came into place here, and then during COVID or whatever the case
you don't
may
even
be,
know that. You're sitting there thinking it's from 2008, 2009 when Obama.
I never said. The fact of the matter is, I never said. But they're a part of the ACA. They're a part of the Affordable Care Act. They're attached to the Affordable Care Act, and that's what this is a part of. So, other than that, you sit back and you talk about who doesn't know facts.
But nobody's going to lose their health care because of it.
No one's saying they're going to lose it. I didn't say that.
You just got done saying they're going to lose it.
Oh my goodness, man! I said they're going to lose their health care. I said during the big ugly bill. 7 to 11 million people. This is what I said. Let's pay it. I mean, you got to keep up with me, okay? I know you like to say what I don't know and what I can't do.
You're
keep
so
up
far
with
behind.
Me,
it's ridiculous.
You're
like I said.
Oh, you guys do. We do appreciate y'all joining in.
You're like the New Orleans Saints.
Let's keep moving on. Let's keep moving on here. So we all know that the last 3 government shutdowns have happened under Trump. He doesn't know how to govern at all. So when you're in the minority, as far as like the Democrats don't have the president, they don't have the presidency. They don't win. They don't have the presidency. They don't have the House. They don't have the Senate.
Crap.
The only way that you can negotiate from that standpoint is to say, you know what, I'm not going to sign on to basically a new budget. That's how you can negotiate in the minority. Doing this? That's a fact.
Because he's got to stick up for his progressive left AOC wing, who think he is a weak person when it comes to governing. You know that. I know that, and he wants to look tough. That's all he's doing.
No, I think that right now they're fighting for the
American
people
now,
because nobody else is.
I'm taking you out, man. That's what she's doing.
No one else is fighting for the American people at this point in time.
He said, Chuck Schumer sure hell
want to be invited in. You want to invite someone in
Come
TikTok?
On, bring him in.
I'll send him an invite. I don't know if they're going to be able to actually come, but we'll send them an invite anyways. Hey, Truck, if you pop on, I'll send you an invite on TikTok as well too if you want to, bro. Let me know. You know I got you. But listen. This is the fact of the matter is this right here. The only people who are not fighting for the American people are Republicans. It's been going on this whole entire time. You know that. We don't have to keep on rehashing the same facts over and over or regurgitating the same things. It's just a fact, man. I mean, you see it, I see it. You know, so The government is shut down under Trump yet again because he wants to continuously to cut things that are cut benefits to the American people.
They're not.
Here,
It's
plain
not
and
a
simple.
cut.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a cut.
They are expiring.
If you had something,
it's like a damn coupon. They expire.
So where with the so basically he did not lower your taxes then, right? Because those were just expiring too as well, right? Those were just expiring, right? That's what you're saying, right?
It's not a tax.
Well, he didn't lower your tax. No, what I'm saying is he didn't. You just brought up the fact that my taxes were lowered under Trump. He lowered yours too. So no, that was he didn't. It was what he did actually was he came back.
Are you having a stroke? Are you having a stroke? Is that what it is? You don't.
What he did was no. Actually, I had a phone call came in. What he did was he actually just stopped something from expiring, which were the tax cuts. Correct?
They were
correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's exactly
it's
the same exact thing that it's the same. Okay, this thing can be put in as permanent too. That's the way our laws are put into place.
Knew that these were going to expire. He did nothing about them 6 months ago, did he? Zero. He did zero.
What could they have done? What could he have done? What could he have done 6 months ago? Stop the government, right? Shut the government down, correct? That's what he could have done 6 months ago. Shut the government down.
He didn't do it.
Okay. All right. So he did what he was supposed to do now. So that's the point that I'm making.
No,
you don't know what you're talking about right now.
Shut down the
government.
Have
no idea what you're saying right now.
You just got done saying he shut down the government. You just
regurgitating facts you hear from Fox News. That's all this is to it. This is what Steve does. He listens to Newsmax. He regurgitates news he's here from these guys right here.
From an credible source. That's the problem. Here's the problem. You don't like the facts because they go contrary to what.
How you doing, Erica?
On
TikTok. Right. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm sorry you have to listen to this right here. No one should have to listen to this right here. I have to listen to an consistent basis.
Yeah, because
I kind of genuinely like the guy. I don't know why. People tell me I shouldn't talk to him. People tell me all the time I shouldn't talk to this guy. It almost slows me down a bit. I'm telling you guys.
You are a bit dim-witted sometimes. I will admit. You kind of like you get over there and you stammer like that's all, folks.
Hey, sometimes I'm like Biden, man. I probably had a slight,
just so you know,
hitch at a certain time.
Here's the Wesley fact: he's in the Epstein files.
This is crazy. This is what we're gonna say right now. Who? Trump? Who are we talking about? Trump? I've never met the guy. I know the guy you voted for to be president was hanging out with him, doing his little Trump dance and everything, hanging out with children. What did Epstein say? I will not say whether or not we were hanging out with kids together. That's what he said. Let's be honest here. Let's keep to the facts. Let's keep to the facts. I don't want to.
They did it. Get him out. I don't really give a damn, to be honest with you.
You don't care. You don't care if he mess with kids.
Here's a simple fact. The Epstein files have gone through now 3.
You don't care if they mess with kids. Tell me again. Say it again. I want to be clear. I just want to be clear for the audience members to hear this right now.
I do care about that. If that happens,
you don't care if they mess with kids. Okay, I just want to make sure
that you're saying. If it happened, get rid of them, because you know that's not what I said.
He said, "I don't." The first thing that came out was, "I don't care." That's what I heard.
I don't. I don't care about the files.
You did say something about if they mess with kids, get them wrong.
If they did do something wrong, then they get arrested and they put in jail.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
You should be put in jail.
This is crazy. We're gonna say something like that about each other.
You should be put in jail for facts.
This is what we're talking about. We both know who the factual guy is here.
I still haven't heard anything from your mouth.
I know that it's hard to defend what you're defending right now. I know that it is.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on away from this. I mean, because there's nowhere we can go with this.
Saints.
I just. Hey, this guy's funny right now. But listen, I'm just being honest. There's nowhere we can go because the truth of the matter is, like
you're terrible at being honest.
Like you said, if he would have done this 6 months ago, if he would have done this 6 months ago, I mean, he should have done his job 6 months ago. Which is the only thing he could have done is shut down the government.
Was shut down the government?
That's the only thing he could have done.
You're saying shut down the government. You just said it again.
That's the only thing the Democrats can do is say, you know what? This is what they can do. They can say, you know, I'm gonna defend the American people. I would like to see these people be able to keep their cuts to the subsidies to health care
anyway
for the American people. I would like to be able to keep those so people can pay less on their health care costs. After you just already cut, that's a fact.
You could be a good steward of the government if you went 6 months ago and tried to get this taken care of and negotiate with the Republicans to have something put back in.
Now you can't negotiate with people who are unwilling. Didn't Trump come in and say, "I have
what
did he say? What did he say? He has a concept of a plan."
What
did Trump say? What did Trump say about healthcare? He has a concept of a plan. All right, let's move on. The Trump administration has sent in federal troops into Chicago and into Portland, Oregon, two heavily blue enclaves, strongholds, stating the fact that people are protesting outside of ICE facilities. Me personally, I think that this is. I think he's doing this basically to set up his setup to put troops in these cities to say, hey, and then at the same time, maybe
so are
maybe
you not
stir up a little more trouble.
Government facility? Yes, you are.
This is just like he was allowed to put troops in DC. All he's doing right now is just normalizing federal troops being inside of American cities. That's all he's doing right now, and you're good with it. Again,
no,
you're. Okay,
I follow. It's following the law. It's following the law. Following the law. Period.
It's great. Then he said, use lethal force if necessary.
Are we not
use lethal force on American citizens if necessary?
If somebody is trying to tear down a federal building and try and blow it up or kill somebody or go after somebody.
Say it again.
What?
Say it again.
You want me to
just want to hear
say it again? I will say it again. If you
are trying to do what?
Or trying to kill people in ICE, or you're trying to hurt.
Now it's people in ICE. Now we're people in ICE. First it was federal buildings. I want you guys to remember this. First he said federal buildings.
It's still federal government property. Yes or no?
Who tried to tear down a federal building? Let's say maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Who tried to kill? They say, didn't they have a noose to say hang Mike Pence? Then they say they were trying to kill Nancy Pelosi
during the riots in Portland. Who tried to burn down a federal building?
Yeah, I don't remember it. I don't remember.
Yeah, you don't remember because you have selective amnesia.
I'm not saying that it didn't happen.
That's all.
I don't remember. I'm not saying
you don't remember. How do you not say it didn't happen?
You know what I mean?
What?
However, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just don't remember that. I don't remember. I don't know.
Of course, you don't remember because it. Oh no,
I'm not
4 or 5 years
but
ago,
I do know. Do you know that? I believe there are probably what? 30,000 people. 30,000 people or more trying to run through and kill every single member of the House and the Senate, as well as our vice president. And you just said that, right? Why weren't there troops defending them? But we'll keep going though. Let's keep going. Let's just say that since we're in Portland now, you're saying that
did J6 happen? Yeah, it happened, but we still don't know all the details around J6.
Oh yeah, we do. We saw him. I watched.
Nancy Pelosi had a chance to call in the.
Did you watch it? I watched.
Had to approve
National
Guard, and she didn't.
Why is it Nancy Pelosi's job? I just saw this guy bringing
she has to approve the National Guard to be around the Capitol. That's why.
Did Nancy Pelosi have to approve the National Guard to come into Washington D.C. just here recently? No, she didn't.
City, no.
Or
when it comes to the Capitol, yes.
No, they didn't either.
Learn your goddamn facts.
They just were around. They just were around the
facts.
The Capitol. They just were around the Capitol. That's not even true. They just were around the Capitol.
What are you talking about?
They just weren't around the Capitol just here recently, cleaning up the Capitol, doing whatever else they're doing, watching monuments, everything else. They just weren't there.
Okay, fine, but
learn your facts. Blah 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 blah. But I don't want to attack you right now because if I wanted to, I'm gonna leave it alone at that. However, folks, all I'm saying is this right here. All I'm saying is this right here.
That's all. Blah 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 blah.
He likes listening to me talk. That's why he acts like this in public. I mean, I allow it. It's okay. You can do it. You know what I mean?
Well, when you come to a gunfight with a knife, you're gonna lose.
I know. You should talk. That's why I told
you.
You gotta start going to get your
guns,
man. Go get your gun, brother.
Go get yourself.
You're
the
only one
here
knife,
Wesley.
You're the only one here without one. Your facts are just flawed. You just made a point that just saying that, hey, why didn't he do that then? But the fact of the matter is, you'd rather him send them in.
Okay,
you'd rather him send them in. Weren't you saying? Go ahead.
One question.
Go ahead.
Does he not have the law behind him when it comes to sending troops to where federal buildings are? Yes or no?
I'm sure that he does.
Okay, that's it. That's all you have to say. That's all you have to say.
I'm sure that he probably does at some point in time.
You lost your argument right there.
What argument is that?
Right there.
What's my argument?
About troops are coming in to take over the cities and blah blah blah. No,
that's not what I'm saying. That's a start. That's a start. Is what we're doing right now.
Hey, user, how you doing?
Next he's gonna say that when the ICE troops go out into the city that they're gonna need protection. That's next. That's what he's gonna bring in next. Everyone knows, but you'll play the role and be like, oh, that's not what he's doing. Everyone else knows it. Everyone else sees it happening. Everyone understands this. And then let's just say that
people on your side look at it that way.
Weren't you just calling
because you don't give a shit about laws? That's the problem. You're okay with breaking laws.
Are you serious?
The
We
left is okay with breaking laws.
I'm
period.
sure the left is okay with breaking laws.
You're okay with
the kind of
millions of people coming in
pattern,
illegally to the country.
This the thought pattern. Your president has like 34 felonies. You know what I mean? You voted for him, so you're okay with breaking laws too. That's just I'm not against it. It is what it is. You voted for him. You voted for him. It wasn't against law for him to run. I'm not mad about it, but you voted for the guy.
Those were trumped up charges.
Trumped up charges. Now this is
you like that one?
You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. But the fact of the matter is this right here.
Hey, Ortiz, how you doing?
How you doing, man? Those same cities that you're talking about sending people into, didn't you just call them S-hole cities a little while ago? Pretty much. They're run down, they're tore up, they're ragged, they're no good.
Countries.
Weren't you saying that? No, I'm talking about you. We were talking about this earlier before we got on here, and I had to come on here and slay you. You know what I mean, in front of everyone. Before we got on here, you were like, "Oh, these places are horrible. They're run down."
Words out that I didn't use. I never said S-hole city.
You didn't say that exactly.
All right, but you said I did.
What was the verbiage?
Retract.
Verbiage, please. I'll retract.
They are rundown cities.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
are they not?
Jesus. No, man.
A lot of places in the inner cities that are run down
right now. What city? What's going on with you, bro? What cities are you? What cities are you talking about?
Chicago.
Chicago.
LA,
have you been to Chicago?
New York,
have you gone to Chicago?
Atlanta. There's places.
Have you been to
Chicago?
Chicago?
I live right near Atlanta. I see it all the time.
It's run down. Chicago's run down.
Not.
Okay, so let's be honest here. These are major sprawling metropolitan areas. Come on. You act like every piece of it's going to be pristine and perfect. They're sprawling. They're huge, man. They're huge cities.
They're big, but they're not sprawling. They're kind of
3 million people live in Chicago. 3 million. Is that not sprawling? Is that not huge? I've been to Chicago. It's a big place, and it's very nice. I've been to some great places there. There are beautiful places there. And there are places that are bad too.
Places that you go that 500 people are getting killed already this year.
You know what I mean? 500 people are dying in the hills. 500 people are dying in the hills of West Virginia. All right, you know what I mean? In coal country,
that's
all
because
the time.
They're drinking too much of that whiskey. That's why.
You know what I mean?
They drink too much. They drink too much of their own corn liquor.
I had a guy that I know, right? They live like in a state. It's like, let's just say it's Iowa, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say it's not the state. 555. Let's just say it's Iowa. They're sitting back like, oh, well, this many people died in Chicago. I said, you know what? Chicago, the city of Chicago has more people than your entire state. So take everyone in your big, huge state and clump them into one little city. You still wouldn't have the size of population.
That's a lot of people, regardless. Don't you think that's terrible? And you're making light of it. You're making light of over 500 people being murdered in a city. It doesn't matter if there's 3 million, 10 million. There's a lot of people getting murdered there.
In a year? You know what I mean? Like, we have to sit back and act like we don't live in America where there's freedom and guns, where we don't act like we don't live in a place that's like that.
But how many of those guns are actually lawfully owned guns that are killing people?
In a violent country that the whole inception of this country, the beginning of this country was through violence. The entire, the entire country's history is violence. Let's be honest here. So what are we talking about? It's not like we came in peacefully.
Yeah, but
we expect peaceful society,
but not from most,
more or less. You know what I mean? Like,
probably 100% of those gun violence crimes and murders in Chicago were people that didn't own those weapons. They were probably stolen, serial numbers wiped off, whatever. They weren't legal.
It happens all over America. Yeah, a lot of the guns they probably
got
where
they happen
were illegally obtained as well too.
Blue cities.
Who have millions of people who live there. If there's no one who lives
over here,
horribly. If they have 1,500 people in their city, and they're talking about
in blue cities who want to defund police,
it's nuts to me. Who want to be unpoliced? Who said no? No one's ever said that. No one's ever said that. You just made that up. You just made that up.
Are you
made that up out of thin air?
Are you thinking? Are you telling me that people
talking about defund the police? Okay, now let's get into that.
God.
We've talked about this already. Defund the police does not mean I don't want any police around. No one's ever said that. There's no one in the history of mankind is like, I don't want to see any police around at all in my city. No one says that. What they're saying is, I don't want you bringing in. I don't want you to have a tank in my city. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying a literal tank, but basically more or less like some of the things they have, some of the armaments they have are like military grade. You don't need that here. What are we spending money on that?
You in a city of 3 million people.
Oh, now it's a city of 3 million people. Now that's the big deal because it's 3 million people now, huh? Okay. You know what I mean? Let's just be real.
Okay, I'm going to give you a quote.
I like the fact when you go to these quotes. Go ahead.
Quote, the defund the police movement is one of the reimagining the current police system to build an entity that does not violate us while relocating funds to invest in community services. Let's be clear, the people who now oppose this have always opposed calls for systematic change. You know who said that?
Who, AOC? Who knows?
Ilhan Omar. Ayanna Pressley, quote, the defund movement isn't new. Folks are just finally listening. We got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. So defund the police.
I know who said the first part. Tupac
What?
Shakur. He said he got money for war, but can't feed the poor. And he was right about that.
Well, that's what she's quoting that. She's actually
okay, but let's what she's really saying to
happy birthday Tupac on there.
What she's really saying to you at the same time is
Bernie
really,
Sanders. Sanders, white guy. Instead of spending $80 billion a year on jails and incarceration, we need to be investing in more jobs and education, which is
wow.
Which
Is this not what I just talked about earlier? This
but
not what did you know? What did you say
from the police?
What did you say to me earlier? What did you say to me earlier? I don't care about prisons. You'd rather spend $80 billion a year.
Civil rights,
and that's just probably federal dollars. Who knows? You'd rather spend $80 billion. That's not even state dollars.
But you just got to tell me nobody has said defund the police. You just got that. You just said that on air. Nobody said defund the police. Nobody.
This is what I'm dealing with, guys. This is what I'm dealing with right now.
Did you not say that? Let's go rewind.
This is what he's really. What I
That's
said.
That's why he wants to go live, because he knows nobody can rewind it.
No, we're recording this right now. This is being recorded right now. We're going to run this back as an actual segment. So let me say this. This is what I said. I said people are not saying they don't want any police, no police in their neighborhoods. They're not saying that. Defund the police movement is not about not wanting the police around or taking
many police taking away.
No, what they're saying is why don't we start putting money towards other things such as social workers that work with the police,
actually
social workers that work with the
community.
Police. Let me ask you this. So if crime goes down in any particular place, do you think you need more police officers or possibly to take that money and put it into more education? What would you do?
Let me ask you a question. You put a social worker in the middle of a gang violence. What's going to happen to that social worker?
Is that where you're sending the social worker to the middle of gang violence? Is that where you're sending them to? Are you sending that social worker to work with children? Are you sending that social worker to work with people who have mental disabilities? What are we talking about right now?
What are we talking about? Let me ask you a question. Are you going to send police in, or are you going to send some Joe Schmo schlub who has no law enforcement background into a riot or gang violence or a shooting or
let me ask you this.
Or something like that. Is that what you're going to do? Is that really what you're going to do?
But okay. Jesus Christ. This is the conversation we're having right now, Steve. Let me ask you this question right here. Because right now I'm slaying you. I don't even want to do this to you. This is horrible. You're bleeding all over the place right now. Right? Hey, right now you're leaking real bad.
Joe.
I mean, I don't know how I can stop this leaking for you, but let me explain. I mean, I'm very much a defund the police person. But let me ask you, but let me ask you this question right here. What's that mean? Let me ask you, he's putting up a big L right now, like I'm losing. But everybody on here and everybody on TikTok, they all know. We thank you for the hearts. We appreciate you guys.
Hello, Wesley, aka New Orleans Saints.
Let me explain this to you right here. To me, man, because you didn't answer
the Colorado Rockies.
Because you didn't answer my question.
Of political debate.
You didn't answer my question when I asked you. What are you gonna? I mean, if you have declining crime, are you just going to continuously put more money into your police force, or would you put that money somewhere else where it could be better, maybe serve your community, which is putting it into education? Do you want to just fund people?
I would not take the money away from the police force. No, I wouldn't.
Me personally, I think that it could be reallocated.
Why would you do that?
What you're saying is
ever take away money from people who are trying to protect you?
You know, it's like saying, why would I ever take away money from the military? It's like saying, why would I ever take away money? In some cases they can. In some cases they can. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
If you're being mugged, is a social worker?
Why are we using? You're using extreme circumstances though, like we just did a second ago. Let me ask you this question.
Somebody breaks into your home.
Let me ask you this question. Hold on.
Somebody breaks in your home and steals stuff, or steals your car, or whatever. Is a social worker going to help there? No.
Let me ask you this question. For every circumstance, of course, they wouldn't help. That wouldn't make sense. But let me ask you this question right here, really quickly. So when they have an active shooter or someone who has hostages in the building, who do they call in? A negotiator.
The police.
A negotiator, correct?
The police first.
But they'll have a negotiator there. There can be the police too, because the police, for any situation, you're not just going to call the social worker by themselves. They may be the person. I'm not even saying you're just a social worker. This person
What's a negotiator?
This person would have
still somebody from the police department.
This person would
still has
this person would still have to have a law enforcement, like you have to have gun training, everything else. You can't just be a plain social worker. You're working in a different kind of an environment. It's like saying when you go into anything, you have to have gun training. You're going to have that anyways, because things could escalate, but you're the first line of defense. We watched a woman get killed in her own house, have her brains blown out in her own home, because she was having a mental breakdown. We watched it on plenty of different occasions. We watched a guy who had an autistic kid in the middle of the street, and he was helping the kid. He was laying down on his belly with his hands out, and the cop shot him. And I mean, this was his actual, like his aide. The cop shot his aide, and the guy said, "Why'd you shoot me? My hands were out." He's like, "I don't know. I'm sorry," because they're not adept to dealing with that kind of a situation. Things do happen. I get it, but let's just be real. There should be different people there to negotiate.
You're saying a negotiator is still a law enforcement officer.
No one's saying that this person would not have.
They're not a social worker.
No one's saying this person.
Okay. They're trained to talk people off buildings.
Do we really believe that? Do we really believe that these people would not have law enforcement backgrounds? They would be, but they would also be first and foremost.
You're talking about social workers. They don't have law enforcement backgrounds.
Okay. Are we going to sit back and look like, okay, we have to have an understanding of like kind of the whole situation. I understand they'll never go get a social worker who's just a social worker and say, I'm going to take you here and send you into a situation to where a person has called the police and said, hey, my autistic son or my mentally disabled son is having a breakdown right now. You come in here and solve this. No, they would have a person who has that background, who is accompanied by law enforcement officers to go and deal with that situation and try and talk them down versus having a person who's a law enforcement officer.
Have to have law enforcement. So you take away, if you don't pay the law enforcement, they can't go with them. You won't have the people to go with them.
No, what they're saying is instead of just adding more hammers only, you got one who knows.
I'm not saying add more hammers.
That's what they're saying.
You don't take it away.
No one's saying you're taking it away.
That means you can't add on. You can't add on new equipment.
No, that does not mean that does not mean any of that. What they're saying, I think the defund movement, they've talked about here. It's like, okay, so a defund movement can be just with the same thing Bernie Sanders said. Take money away from a prison system and put it towards education, this and the third.
It wasn't that. He said take federal funds away from police departments too.
Oh yeah, and put them towards other things that can help this. I mean, do you not believe the education? Do you not believe the education and jobs don't help?
The moment you do that, you weaken a police force. End of story.
Okay. Most police forces have budgets that go up every year, correct?
Yeah, but if you start to defund them, those budgets start going down.
No, what they're saying is it's basically a reallocated.
Defund means take away.
Everyone knows.
What does defund mean?
Everyone knows that AOC has come in and said the same thing. We're talking about reallocation of funds. They call it defunding the police. That's what they called it. That's what they called it. But it's a reallocation of funds.
People on the left said it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's a reallocation of funds.
It's not just reallocating. It's reallocating away.
Yeah, and reallocating them to better serve the community, just like what's her name? Omar said, to better serve the communities.
What happens when you take away? What happens when you take away funds from a police department? And then they don't have training, and you're always
don't have training.
People are always complaining about not having enough training. What's that?
I said they don't have training because they have to reallocate the funds. Come on.
Yes. They don't have new equipment.
Now they're going to say we're no longer going to give you. We're no longer going to do any. Come on, it just means that they may not be able to hire 10 new cops. They might only be able to hire 8 and get 2 people who are adapting social
when they
working
need 10
flash cops. You know what I mean?
And they might need 10.
It may be just that.
They might need 10.
So now you got 2 people who can deal with such. You know how many phone calls they probably get for theft and other little petty things that can be dealt with, through other means. Do you know how many calls they get for stuff like that?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Those are petty things. Yeah, don't worry about that because they don't go to jail for that stuff anyway. They get let go.
I mean, that's where does that? It happens a lot in red counties. Let's be honest here. There's a lot more the high levels of theft and everything else that are going on in red counties over there, murders and that.
And why are places in San Francisco moving out because of all the theft in San Francisco? Is that not a blue city? Yes.
Why are people say why are
And you
people in
saw
San Francisco
all these
moving out?
places
I think it's
closing
rising.
down
I
and
think
moving
it's
out.
really the rising cost of basically living there. But at the same time, we better remember that those places like
No,
San
it's
Francisco
not the cost
and
of
California,
basic living. It's the fact that people like George Soros pay those DAs to tell them, hey, don't charge these people for what they're doing. It's not a big deal. Let them steal whatever they want.
let them
That's
steal
what it
whatever
is.
they want. I mean, we
Yes.
sit back and act like Chicago is something. I mean, not Chicago, but California is such a bad place. California would be the third largest.
Have you ever talked to somebody at Walmart? They're not even allowed to confront anybody that tries to steal something at Walmart. You know why? Because they'll lose their job.
Because they don't want people, because it can end
They
in a very
lose their
bad confrontation. It can end in a negative confrontation. What if the person at Walmart kills the person for over stealing something small or even a television? Who cares? They killed them. What will happen to Walmart? They'll be sued. That's why. It has nothing to do with anything else other than the fact that, you know what? It makes more sense.
Why would
That's
they
why
lose their
that's
job?
why some cops, because you could potentially harm this person, hurt this person, and now I'm being sued for more than what this television is worth.
Governments, these DAs in these blue cities are not even charging people.
But it has nothing to do with the DAs
does.
in blue cities. It's Walmart's policy. That is Walmart. Walmart is not run
Why
by.
do you think companies are leaving San Francisco?
Oh my!
Why do you think Walgreens shut down all their stores in San Francisco? Why?
Let me explain something. I don't know. Probably somebody, why Walgreens shut down stores in my city too? What are you talking about? I don't live in San Francisco because they were going through bankruptcy. They had a lot of other problems. Let's be honest, like Rite Aid shut down because they have many other places that you can go get your pharmaceutical needs service. That's why they're being shut down. But let's just say this: you're sitting here acting like San Francisco is such a small, like crap city. Let's be honest. San Francisco's that's one of the nicest places I've ever been. I ain't gonna even sit back in front about it. San Francisco Airport, beautiful, nice. San Francisco,
the city itself is
beautiful, nice. Oh man, people say anything. I mean, we're rolling through places that are hick towns.
All right,
I'm not talking about you. These are red cities. They're like, those places are hellholes.
Came over to San Francisco. What happened? What did Gavin Newsom do to San Francisco when Xi Jinping came over?
He probably, I heard about it. He went in and asked,
cleaned up
the homeless people, cleaned up the homeless people in the city. I'm not saying he didn't do that.
How many people, even people that live there, say it's a hellhole?
Oh my gosh, man. We sit back and we talk about places that are probably the largest. Like when it comes, like San Francisco is one of the most well off. It's one of the most well off places that are in this entire country that we live in. Are one of the most well off by far. And we got people who live, and this is not a direct shot. People who live in small towns talking about, those are hellholes.
Go talk.
That's a hellhole. These people got like 2-3 stores in their town talking about somewhere else is a hellhole. This is crazy.
You don't live there. You don't really give a shit about what happens to those people in that town because you don't live there.
Man,
listen, they are the ones complaining about it.
I don't see that. I mean, if they were complaining about it, they would get someone else in it in the political in their political sphere besides people who they have. That's that. If they were complaining about it, that's what it would be. Is that something else?
Is that your explanation?
It's a fact. I mean, should the people who live in these red counties and these red states complain about being last in education, last in healthcare, last in prenatal care, for everything else that they're last in? Should they be complaining about that as well? Yeah, they're complaining about it, but they're not voting different. So let's just be honest here. Would they rather live where they live at, or would they rather live in San Francisco? Let's be real.
No, those people in the red states that live in blue districts vote for Democrats. Yes,
because
they're complaining about it too, but they keep on voting for you guys for some reason.
71% of all economic output in this country comes from 14 blue counties in this country. 71%. We're going to stop acting like, those are hellholes. No, the hellholes. I know the hellholes are the people who are voting against their own self.
That's why you see 98% of the counties voted red in this country in the last election, because all you have is concentrated blue cities. That's it.
America is about people. Is it about land or people? Which one is it? Who votes?
People.
Land or people? Exactly. But that's what matters, right? People live where there's jobs. They live where there's other things going on at. There's a lot of land that's unoccupied here in this country. A lot of it. So let's stop. That's a county over there. There's 15 counties that are unoccupied. Vote for them too. I'm sure they did. They got 12 people in them who don't know any better. I mean, let's just be honest here. And probably uneducated, just like most of the people who voted.
Most of the people in blue cities
red. Voted red. Most of the people
in blue cities have been
71% of the economic output.
Too.
71% of the economic output. Figure that. 71% of the economic output of this country, GDP, is from 14 blue counties. Where's the rest of the money coming from? Yeah, that
Big
means who's
effing
paying the
deal.
bills?
Free to people.
It's
Give
like-
a
it's
lot
like-
of
it's
people
like-
that do jobs there. Okay, big
isn't
deal.
it strange that the people who pay the bills, like in a household,
You mean
most
the
people are like,
billionaires?
most
The
people are like, oh yeah, where they live at? Most of them live in blue counties too. They know where it's good at. They know where there's things at. They know where there's actual things they could do. There's so let's be honest. We gotta
Listen,
stop.
I live
this.
in a red state. There's plenty of stuff to do here.
You live in a quasi red state. You live in a purple state. Real.
You're
Your
from a
senators,
purple state. You're from a red state.
I was born in a red state. I live
Exactly.
in a blue state. Yeah, so that tells you a lot right there. Where do I live? Yeah.
I came from Pennsylvania, which is also a red state.
It's purple. It's
Red.
It's not red. It's purple.
Red.
It voted for Biden last election. Not
Yeah,
this
the
last
last
one,
two
the
though
one
went
before.
to Trump.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't sound horrible. They went to the guy who's going to take everything from you, who's run the economy into the dirt, but you guys will keep on voting for him as who will send in troops
And then,
against
and
American
then you have
people and
then
say,
you have people on the left that promise you everything and give you absolute jack shit.
but jobs and healthcare and
Oh yeah,
childcare
because jobs. There's so many jobs in
like,
the
let's be real here.
Yeah.
This guy,
Hey, Carrot, how you doing?
This is crazy to me that we sit here and we actually listen to this.
What's the
They're like, we give you nothing but jobs and education and healthcare and help you with your kids and give you more time off work. And what are we talking about? Huh? What are we talking about? This is crazy. You know what I mean? What do Republicans help you with? Negative job growth, take away your health care, take away your education. These people don't do nothing but take from us. It's crazy
And then
to me
they
that
promise
American
you stuff.
citizens
They
would
promise
ever.
Democrats stuff and never give it to them, and they still vote for them.
I just told you what they give Democrats every year.
All you got,
I just told you what they get. I told you what they get. No,
Democrats
the people who
are
are zombies are
zombies.
people who vote against their own self-interest. The people who are lower on the economic totem
me
pole,
stuff
who
that I'll
get
never
absolutely nothing from their
Oh, you
federal
wanna give me
government.
free
But
stuff?
they pump
Give me
in
free stuff. That's why I'll vote for you.
trillions of
Oh
dollars
my God.
into the federal government, get absolutely nothing from it. Then they sit back and say, "What do you expect from your government? Your government doesn't have to do anything for you, but you give it all the money that it has to survive and to be who it is. But you should just expect nothing from that government." It's crazy to me to listen to, but he believes in that. I'm sure a number of you guys do too. But I'm wondering what the real reason is you believe in that. 'Cause I don't believe it's that. I believe it's something else, something that you think that you're getting out of this government, but you're really not.
Democrats have snowed people in big cities for years and years and years.
Them, but what to have jobs and have 401ks,
What jobs?
have
What
education,
jobs?
and to have health care, and to have all the
What
things
jobs?
that you get. You know what I mean? Like we have to look at who's being. There's 14 red states that are at the bottom of the totem pole that are being paid money. The federal government's giving them more money than they're getting out of those states. They're all being paid for by blue states.
Hey, let me
So
ask
what
you
are
a
we
question.
talking about?
What's the biggest
about?
economy in the United States? California, right?
California.
How many billions of dollars in debt are they?
I'm not sure.
You don't have a clue, do you?
I have no clue.
No.
How many billions of dollars of debt? Most state and local governments can't run deficits. That's what I do know. A lot of times they cannot run deficits. It's against the law. But what I do, I mean, at the same time though, how many billions of dollars of debt?
I'm sorry. Ooh, I was sorry. I was way off. It's $1.6 trillion as of early 2024.
They're in debt, but what is their economy worth? 4.6. So debt could also be something that you're paying off on or paying.
It also
paying
owes
for.
It also owes a $23.2 billion debt to the federal government for past unemployment benefits. So add that on there.
But they
That's
pay
almost
about what?
That's almost $2 trillion.
I think they pay over $80 billion more per year into the federal government than what they get back. So I mean, let's be real. Let's go over every other state and do the same exact thing and figure out what they owe. Figure out how much debt they're in. And most of it's probably from health. Most of
California, oh my God, it's the blessed Virgin Mary.
We act like China's in debt. Everybody's in debt. This capitalism is about debt. Capitalism is about debt. Let's be honest. What's up, Micah? You know, I'm sitting here listening to this guy. He has no clue about the economy or how the economy works. He acts like the economy debt is really a quasi good thing in certain aspects.
No, it's
it
not.
just is. There's not one economy that you can talk about
not
right
when
now,
you're
except for maybe
$1.6
Russia,
trillion
except
deep
for
in it.
maybe Russia that's not in debt. Name one around the world. Name one.
What's that?
Name one. China's has about 100. China's about 100%. Like we're like a little over 100%, like 120% debt to GDP versus debt. China's like about 100% itself. I mean, Japan's like 300% or something like that. It's crazy. You don't have everyone's in debt. This is what the capitalism is. It runs off of debt. This is life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I get it, but
most
you
of
sit
that,
there and tout how great California is when they're $1.6 trillion in debt.
it is a great economy. Half that debt is like
why is
half that.
why is everybody leaving? Why are all the
Everybody's
big
leaving,
companies leaving?
but they have more. They have more Fortune
Because
500
tax
companies than
incentives are
anyone
somewhere
else. They have more Fortune 500 companies than anywhere else in the country. Still to this
Not
day,
anymore.
they have more. Yes, they do. They have more people. Yes, they do. They have more people than any other country.
We went over that a couple months ago, and that was not the case.
Yes, it was, man. They were still up by like 7 or 8 Fortune 500 companies. The next one was Texas. They were growing. They were coming in because Texas is trying to start its own Wall Street. Texas is trying to do a lot right now. It's a fact. You're going to what people are going to do when you're the champion. What are they going to do? They're going to come at you. That's part of life. We're the champion. When you're you're on top.
The problem is their taxes are too high. That's why everybody's leaving.
I mean,
that's why companies can't afford to work to exist in California.
You know what happens a lot? You know what happens a lot of times? What happens a lot of times is that when you grow and you become the top dog, you start figuring out you have liabilities and things you need to take care of, which Texas will end up doing next. They just haven't had to run into that problem just yet. Texas is a huge state. They're a very, very big, very large state, but they're going to run into the same problems that California ran into at some point in time. They're not even what do you mean? I mean, as you grow as a state,
if you have incentives that come in for companies to come in and they pay less taxes, they can create more products and pay more taxes back to the state.
That's what everyone.
But when people start leaving,
that's what everybody does.
Right now, California has 57 Fortune 500 companies,
and Texas has like
Texas and New York have 52 each.
Okay, I mean,
so they only have 5 more because guess what? That's all going to change in the next 5-6 years. Easily.
Possibly, this is part of the game. It happens this way.
Why is that? Because
it happens
too expensive to do anything. Why do you think there's no movies being made in California?
Do you know that for lower end people, you know that for people who are like the bottom, like 75% of Californians pay less taxes than people in Texas. Do you know that? It's just the top earners pay more. The bottom 75% of Californians paid less taxes than Texas. Texas, bottom 75%. 75%, but it's just the higher earners in California pay more taxes because they're taxing the right people in that state. That's what's happening. Do you think that Texas is not going to go towards that?
Bottom earners don't earn anything in California because they have sucky jobs.
Are you serious? Are we serious right now? People in California. Okay, so who's paying all these high rents and everything else is high in California? Who's paying that? Just the
billionaires.
Oh my God! So there's 38. So how many people live in California? Like almost 40 billion people.
Why are the rents
40 million people?
Why are the rents up so high?
This is crazy,
I thought you guys were all about making places rent controlled so they don't go up.
Oh, they absolutely are. But at the end of the day, there's also a capitalist society.
Is it not your rent? No, of course not.
Do we not live in it? It's not about capping. It's about capping how much you can actually raise your rent. Because right after the fire happened in California, they have places that are going from $7,000 to $21,000 a month. That's what they did. They were talking about just capping what you can raise the rent on. It's not saying you have to stop it at a certain number. That's not the case. You know it. I know it. But it's this. But but I don't want to keep harping on the same whipping that I've been giving you all day long.
How you doing?
It's crazy. How you doing, Rachel? I'm happy that you're joining in, getting an opportunity to watch me do what I do every week, week in and week out to this guy.
Leslie's middle initial is L.
I know. For love me long time. That's what it's that's what it.
What, you get paid to do the wild thing? Is that what you're saying?
Hey, I hear in red states you guys need to be doing more of the wild. That's the problem around there. You guys may not be, you know what I mean? You guys a little bit,
Is that what they do up in the Northwest? Crazy, you pay for the wild thing up there? Is that what?
Yeah, factual matter.
Or are you paying for the wild thing?
The fact of the matter is this: I don't have to. I'm a handsome.
That's why you're going down to Columbia.
Look at me, a handsome son of a gun.
It's cheaper down there.
I'm handsome. I don't know. I mean, we gotta look at who we're looking at here. Pay attention here. You know what I'm saying? One of these days you might. Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and end this L.
Beard of yours.
Let's go ahead and end this L, just at least on our recorded, and we can continue on TikTok. But we definitely love you guys joining into our show.